Hello, welcome back to another weekly update, except this one's 2 weeks later because I didn't film one last week. But I'm back in our tree house where we were for the first week. We just had, actually I'll say that later. My words aren't working very well at the moment again, so bear with me. But 2 weeks ago we had our prayer burn, which was 24 hours of prayer for our outreach locations. And so each outreach team, I think I mentioned this at the end of my last one, but each outreach team got given an hour, and we were just spending an hour for each location, just praying over it and worshiping. And so that went for 24 hours. I think I ended up staying, you didn't have to stay for 24 hours, but you could if you wanted. And I think I ended up staying for 17 out of the 24 hours. So that kind of meant my weekend was a bit after that I just wanted to sleep. So that was on Saturday. But it was a really cool experience of just diving deep into giving everything you've got in terms of your energy to the Lord and what He's gonna do in those nations, which was pretty cool. But we had Holy Spirit Week, which was kind of it was so cool and interesting, seeing the different ways that the Holy Spirit moves through people and just allowing Him that space to be present. And the teaching was very much about one of the key takeaways I took away from that week was that the first voice you often hear in your head, I feel we overcomplicate hearing from God. The first voice we hear in our head is often God speaking to us. The second voice is often us being nah, that wasn't God, that was me. And the third voice is often Satan being trying to convince yourself that you were right. It's it wasn't God. But I feel it's kind of not easy to hear Him, but sometimes overcomplicated. But yeah, so that's been cool, going through that and then testing that out and being whoa, that's actually so true. If you're aware of it, it makes sense. But it was also, Holy Spirit Week was also Go Week on the whole campus, which was where we got to explore the different options of what it looks like to do ministry and to do missions after ywam and after your DTS, which was cool because it made me really want to step into full-time missionary stuff after this and not go back to an everyday life, which is something I've been thinking of. I'm how do I just go back and live the same life that I was living? I don't think I would be I don't think that would satisfy my needs to go out and speak to the nations, if that makes any sense. But that was really cool, being able to experience that and just really diving deep into what that looks like and what the options are for me after this 6 months. But yeah, that was last week. But we had over the weekend I went camping, so we just we went hammocking, so I just got a hammock, took a backpack, my sleeping bag, walked down this gravel path for 40 minutes and then just found this spot right next to the beach. And I think there was 15 of us that went. But that was really cool, being able to the stars were incredible because there was no lights around, and just being able to see all of the all of God's creation and what He's been doing was so cool. The stars were amazing, and the water and the waves crashing as you're going to sleep, it was so cool. So I was really wanting to go camping again, and then watching the sunrise from lying in your hammock. It was just so cool. How am I in Hawaii? That's unreal. But yeah, we also had that weekend, the other weekend we had an uphill battle, which is pretty much campus run, RTC, which is the fitness program on campus. It's called Respect the Corners, and they run this event where 300 athletes from all over the world and all over the islands, the Hawaii, come and compete. And it's basically kind of reenacting or simulating what it would be trekking Bibles in Nepal and in the Himalayas. So it's it's brutal. It's 3 hours of CrossFit. It's next level. But because I'm part of that track, the fitness track, RTC track, I was volunteering and I got to wear a pretty cool yellow vest. I'll put it in the photos in the email. But yeah, that was it was really cool being able to see the partners leaning on each other and yeah, they were just really able to push through, and even though like you could see they were so, like they were really struggling, like it was hot and it was not nice. They were really able to lean on each other, and like we were there encouraging them. We had to count their push-ups and sit-ups, so pretty much they had to do 60 push-ups, 60 sit-ups in a pair, then 70 push-ups, 70 sit-ups, 80 push-ups, 80 sit-ups, and that was like one little part of the workout. It's like it was a lot, really big. But yeah, it was cool. Like they were able to lean on each other, but they were also able to like lean on us for like relying on us for encouragement. So like even though that was a 4 a.m. start that Saturday morning, like in terms of volunteering, but it was so worth it. Like I did actually really enjoy it. But I think at the moment, this is a bit of a choppy video, but I think at the moment something that God's doing in my heart is like he's really like shattering my heart for what Breaks is. Like especially in the realm of like children and foster care and orphanages, like whenever that's brought up in class or something, like I just like can't help but cry type of thing. And like it's making me realize that that's probably got something to do with obviously what my heart is like really compassionate towards, but it's just like sucks because it means I'm just crying all the time, but like it's fun, it's fine. But yeah, it also just means I feel like I'm really on fire for him. Like I'm finding myself wanting to spend time with the Lord way more, and like wanting to be in the Word and listening to music and just praying out loud, even like throwing out conversations to him throughout the day. And yeah, it's just been really cool seeing that development in me. Like I'm noticing it as well. But yeah, and then like finding the balance between how much time to spend with the Lord and how much time to spend with friends. And I know that like sometimes I get FOMO from not spending time with my friends, but I'm choosing to spend time with God as well. And like I have so many friends here on campus, but I don't think I'm necessarily in a friend group. And I'm kind of glad I'm not, because it means that I can float and I can be friends with all these different people, but I'm not like locked into a certain group of people. And normally I wouldn't be okay with that, but like I'm really glad that that's kind of where I'm at in my in my journey at the moment. But Tuesday was Valentine's Day, which is kind of a bit funny because in America like it's huge. Like everyone wears pink and white and red and dresses up and takes like so many photos, and like it was a lot. I was like, whoa, what have I walked into type of thing. But the guys today, this morning, they've been working on this thing called a ladies lunch, where they paid with their own money, and they set up this whole lunch of like avocado and toast, and they had menus and charcuterie boards and like drinks and mocktails and like all this stuff, where we like got to dress up in pretty dresses, and like they had live music, and it was just like them really honoring us as daughters of the King. And it was a really special thing, because like for a lot of people that have been hurt by guys before, like that was kind of like a healing thing in terms of there are godly men in this world who are going to like they were pretty much saying this needs to be your standard. Like if it's anything less than this, then your standard's not high enough. So like they were kind of setting a standard for themselves, and they were saying that as well, which was like, it was pretty cool. But jumping back to yesterday, every morning we do contending, which is like an hour of prayer and worship for a different topic each week. And yesterday's contending in the morning went overtime because the Holy Spirit was just so present in the room, and so they cancelled classes all day because they were just like, we need to let this, because we do class in the same spot they do worship, and so they just needed to leave that space open for people that needed to be there in the presence of God. So they were just really just left that space open, which means we didn't have any class yesterday, which was kind of really nice to have a break. What did I do? I read a lot, read my Bible, read my book, chilled. It was a good chill day. Went to Target to get some watercolor stuff. I'm about to go paint, which is I'm really excited for. But yeah, I think at the moment that's the main things, that a little bit of an update. It's crazy, we've only got like 5 more weeks of being here in Hawaii and then we're off. But our team's like we're really bonding at the moment. Like there is so much joy within our team. We've gone through like team values, what we want our team to look like, because there's 10 of us. But it was like, it's been so cool getting to know people on my team and be like, this is going to be my family for 2.5 months. Like these are the people that I'm going to know inside like I'm gonna know them so well. But like, yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. I think they were booked plane tips this week, so like that's official. We've still been talking about like vaccines and all the things like that we have to go through. But at the moment, in terms of my outreach fees, let me just convert Australian and USD to Australian, because that's a bit confusing sometimes. USD, it's not letting me spell. USD to Australian. I had this lady come up to me and she was like, English isn't your first, I spelled something wrong, and she was like, oh, it's okay, English isn't your first language. And I'm like, where do you think I'm from? Like, yeah, English is my first language. She's like, aren't you from Norway? And I'm like, no, is my English that bad? Anyway, that was funny. So I need 754 249. Okay, I still need about $3,800 to be fully funded. $700 to be funded for my deposit, and then my full funded needs to be $3,822. And I'm fully trusting in God. Like, I've already seen him like do crazy things like that with money. But like, if you do feel like you're in a space where you can donate, or like, or you know someone that is, or you want to like share this video with your church or your ministries, or yeah, your family, that would like be really appreciated. And like, I hate asking for money and I hate doing this, but it's just like as a missionary, it's a big part of it, is you're relying on your community to get you through, but also your own hard work. Like, I've worked really hard to get here, and I'm so glad I'm here. But yeah, so I'm fully trusting God in that, but I'm still super excited to see like where I'm gonna go and what I'm gonna be doing after this, if I come back and I staff, or I yeah, different things like that. But I think that's mostly all that I've got to update you guys on. I do appreciate you again. Hopefully you enjoyed being updated, and yeah, having a look at those photos that I attached in the email. We've also got our team's Instagram page up, so if you are on Instagram, jump onto that. I think it's in the description below, but that's like, we'll be posting like more team updates on there. So yeah, jump onto that if you want as well. But thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, my messages and phone is always open, so I'd love to talk to you. But I appreciate you, and I hope you're having an amazing weekend. Goodbye.